At last, the world's most marketable player has a new location. The guy is capable of goals, dribbling, skills, and everything. And he made his ideal job transfer at the age of 25. How excellent, though, is Kylian Mbappé? Mbappé was born in a particularly auspicious year in Bondy, France. France eventually went all the way for the first time in its history in 1998. The World Cup was won by them at home. Mbappé was also born. From an early age, it seemed like participating in sports was his destiny. Wilfried, his father, was a professional football player before becoming a coach. Back in the day, his mother, Faisal Amri, played handball. Furthermore, he had a half-brother who was also an active football player. Mbappe's path to the game started in Bondy, where his father gave him coaching sessions, and he improved so fast that he reached the final goal of becoming a professional in France, the Academy of Clairefontaine. Only the top students in the nation were allowed to attend the institution. Mbappé participated in the club's young teams while on trial at Real Madrid in Spain. He also had the opportunity to meet and take the renowned picture with his hero, Cristiano Ronaldo, and then was off to England for him. The destination was Chelsea. They invited him to participate in a trial game with the under-14 team. Surprisingly, though, they didn't think he was that talented, so they passed him over. Hurt. Mbappé persisted in his work notwithstanding, and he was ready for his moment in the spotlight by the time 2014 arrived. In the same year, Mbappé signed his first professional deal with Monaco, and he rose through the ranks very rapidly due to his excellence. By October 2015, he was already among the world's greatest young children. By making his debut here against Monaco, Mbappé broke the record held by French star Harry Henry in 1994 and became the youngest player to feature for Monaco at 16 years and 347 days. That season, Mbappé was more than simply the talk, and he was gone by the time February arrived. Monaco was aware that the young player would eventually become a superstar because of how good he had become. In March, they thus granted him a contract renewal. When 2016-17 arrived, Mbappé took off. At just 17, he already had 42 games played, 28 goals, and 17 assists. Mbappé had a lot going for him in his breakout season. His 11 assists and 15 goals helped Monaco win the title and upset PSG. Furthermore, he scored goals in the Champions League against Manchester City, Borussia Dortmund, and Juventus to help Monaco go to the semi-finals for the first time since 2004. It was already creating waves at the youth level on the global scene. He made his Les Bleus debut in 2017 after scoring 5 goals in the Under-19 Euros. By the time summer arrived, Mbappé had advanced significantly in his game and was prepared to begin the next phase of his career. PSG. The agreement with PSG was revolutionary. He became the world's most expensive teenager and the second most expensive player of all time as a result. It seems like he took over in 2017. He didn't take long to start making an impression on his new club, and he was unquestionably the world's top young player by December. Golden Boy got the job done. Mbappé had a fantastic debut season at PSG. In all competitions, he scored 21 goals and 16 assists, and in 8 Champions League games, he scored 7 goals and provided an assist. The numbers were one thing, but how did he perform on the field? Oh no. He was having no trouble defeating fullbacks, and his versatility allowed him to play all over the field. By now, Mbappé was also establishing himself as a mainstay in the first squad, and he was outstanding in the last games leading up to the World Cup that summer. I'll explain this in more detail. That season, France participated in 7 international games against teams like Germany, Italy, and the United States. Additionally, Mbappé was able to contribute at least 1 assist in each game. There's no way Deschamps can send him home after his goal contribution and 7 straight games. Mbappé was traveling to Russia by plane, and he was in another league as soon as his feet touched that grass, on Messi and Argentina, and he wrote history against Croatia in the final. He became the first player to reach the milestone since Pele in 1958 by scoring in the championship game. Mbappé came close to winning the Young Player of the Tournament title with his 4 goals. That season, he also took home the League's Young Player of the Year title. When 2018-19 arrived, Mbappé had transformed into a completely different player. He was a goal scorer, as everyone knew. However, he elevated it to a new level that season. His accomplice and assailant Neymar was almost hurt all the time, and he seized the chance to take charge and make an impact. With a career-high 33 goals that season in Ligue 1, he took home the Golden Boot, was chosen as the season's Player of the Year, took home the league title, and generally amazed everyone with his performance. However, Mbappé and PSG had aspirations of winning the Champions League together eventually, and they were given the ideal opportunity in 2019-20. And considering how much better Mbappé kept getting, that might have been the tipping point. However, he secretly understood that his time at the club was running out. When 2020-21 came to a conclusion, Mbappe had already started thinking about his future. He recorded over 100 goals for the team, 3 league titles, and numerous Golden Boot honors. The man had lost it. There was nothing more personally for him to prove. And with just a year remaining on his deal, it appeared at the time had come to finally take the action that would launch his career. Real Madrid was prepared to receive him. It just felt like a sensible move in both directions. Mbappe was quickly becoming one of the world's top players. After Ronaldo left, Madrid sought a solution. Hazard wasn't doing well, and Mbappe could join a squad that had a track record of success in the one competition he didn't have in his collection. They submitted 2 bids totaling $150 million and $180 million for him. However, PS turned down both. Furthermore, Real Madrid's $200 million final offer ought to have closed the transaction. He could have gone for free, and he only had a year left. Still, the club turned it down, and Mbappe made a significant declaration in January. He remained at PSG. The level of Mbappe just demonstrated his current excellence. The club was prepared to go above and beyond to retain him. The 3-year deal was merely the beginning. There was more to the Mbappe contract renewal than just paperwork signing. The French president intervened as well in an attempt to keep him. Ultimately, Mbappe also concurred. In addition to scoring once and having 2 goals disallowed for offside, he blinked. However, Karim Benzema's hat-trick ultimately eliminated PSG, a letdown for Mbappe. He had high expectations, particularly following Lionel Messi's arrival at PSG. It was the same domestic success that season. In addition to a league title, the Player of the Season award and the Golden Boot were also received. Mbappe shifted his attention to France at the end of the season. In Qatar, they were going to defend their trophy, and he scored 4 goals during the tournament to lead them to the most thrilling World Cup final ever, a final against Argentina. Fewer than 15 minutes remaining down 2-0, they scored a penalty 4 minutes later and hammered home this goal. Mbappe was ablaze as well. After the game ended in a 3-3 draw, he scored another penalty in extra time to complete his hat-trick. He desired to leave. The club prohibited him from playing football for the first team since they couldn't let him go for free. However, he eventually returned to the team and started doing exceptionally well. This was the best season of his career based on a single club season. In 48 games, PSG scored 44 goals and provided 10 assists, leading the side to a Champions League semifinal. Mbappe declared just before the season concluded that, in all honesty, he ought to have departed 2 years earlier. After 7 years, he was going to depart from PSG. In perspective, he was the owner of his time spent at the club. With 256 goals in 308 games last season, he shattered the record as PSG's top goal scorer. It's astounding even if he was only at the club for 6 years. Mbappe's impact was seen within the league as well. Since his departure, Ligue 1 has been unable to secure a broadcaster for the forthcoming season, and with Mbappe gone, nobody is interested in watching. On and off the field, he is a global celebrity. Marketing contracts with companies like Hublot and Nike compete with UNICEF efforts. He's a beast on the field. At 25, he is the captain of the French national team, yet his stats don't even begin to reflect his skill.